Okay, well, welcome to the 2019 Black Sustainability Summit, Day 2. We are here with Brother Chad Adams with Early Bird Farms. I'm going to turn this over to you, Brother Chad. You can go ahead and let people know what we're working with today.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Greetings. Welcome to the Black Sustainability Summit of 2019. I'm on deck to talk about hemp and cannabis a little bit. So we'll go into it. My name is Chad Adams. I am owner and operator of Early Bird Farms, located in the upstate of South Carolina, where we were recently awarded a license to grow industrial hemp. My love for agriculture started early. By the age of 2, I was following my grandfather around his different gardens. I have an agribusiness degree from South Carolina State University. I took classes towards a master's in crop science from the University of Illinois. I taught horticulture at Chattahoochee Technical College. In 2014, I started researching hemp and going to different farm conferences. In 2017, I received a certificate of completion from Habeshaw Works, which is a training opportunity in urban agriculture. If you get a chance, stay online, and we got more coming from Habeshaw, which is a pillar in the Pan-African community. We're doing work here in the United States and abroad, so stay tuned. And what I'll cover today, I'll talk about my farm and my passion. Well, we can do that now. My farm, in completion, it'll be a 40-acre farm, hemp farm. And my passion has always been gardening, growing things. And we'll go into the keys for farming hemp, talk a little bit about fiber and CBD, and we'll go into a little bit of the future of hemp. Okay, like I said, the law in South Carolina, we have a maximum of 40 acres that we can grow. So in completion, Early Bird Farms will be a 40-acre hemp farm. Roughly, I spent about $5,150 to develop 1 acre. And to plant that 1 acre with cultivars, it'll cost around about $25,000, give or take a few thousand. And I'm growing for CBD now because it's more lucrative than the other varieties. So that's my main reason, is to make a little money. And it wasn't really an ease of entry. It was kind of difficult. I tried several times and tried different things that didn't work, and finally they let me in. So it's a little trial and error. So you might need to go to your local state farm agency and find out exactly what your state, the rules and regulations are. And I'm going to be going to the certified naturally grown segment. And we're going to focus on research and development. I'm going to try to make every acre different until I find out the one that works best in my region. We'll talk a little bit about the history of hemp a little bit. In my knowledge, I feel that hemp was the first plant cultivated, going over all the research I've done. Hemp is one of the oldest domesticated crops known to man. It has been used for paper, textiles, and cordage for thousands of years. In fact, the Columbia History of the World states the oldest relic of human industry is a scrap of hemp fabric dating back to approximately 8,000 BC. Hemp has been cultivated on planet Earth for over 10,000 years. It has been an important source of food, fiber, and shelter, with references dating back to ancient China, Mesopotamia, and Kemet. The pyramids in Egypt is said to consist of hemp fibers. Prior to its being illegal, canvas was made of hemp. Canvas comes from the word cannabis, which is the big word for marijuana and hemp, all conclusive. Historically, hemp was a vital crop for North America, and even in the early 1600s, it was the law of the land to grow it. So pretty much you had to grow it. And the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 effectively made possession or transfer of marijuana illegal throughout the United States under federal law, excluding medical and industrial uses, through imposition of an excise tax on all sales of hemp. Personally, I feel it was to make pharmaceutical companies larger and to take away self-care for U.S. citizens. For centuries, over 30 countries have been growing for fiber and for the health benefits. Hemp is now legal because the health benefits can't be denied. California, Colorado, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vermont, and Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming all permit licensed growers to produce industrial hemp for commercial purposes. If you look at the map, you can see other things in detail that you might need to pay attention to. We'll talk a little bit about the water usage. As far as my research and what I'm gonna have to get into, ram pumps are easy access water pumps that pump water to areas with no electricity. So if you have creeks or anything like that around, that'll be the way to go. And to water an acre of hemp, I'm thinking they're saying 70 to 120 gallons. That's all you need how much water you need for an acre of hemp for one season, versus 1,000 gallons plus for to water cotton. Why I do what I do, like I said, my granddad instilled it in me. I've been following him my whole life. I majored in agribusiness. I took classes for the crop science from the University of Illinois, and I taught horticulture at Chattahoochee Tech. Did research for years, and I got my certification in urban ag from Habishaw Works, which is a pillar of the Pan-African community. We'll talk a little about the keys of farming. What we got here, indicas and sativa. It's really not dealing with hemp. The indicas is more of a strand that slow you down, help you rest, and alleviate pain. And sativa gives you more energy, more of a morning smoke. If you're a smoker or whatever you do, you might want to partake that in the morning. And female and male plants, we'll go over that a little bit later. And the ideal growing conditions, hemp and marijuana, they like well-drained soil. So it doesn't need to be moist. Let it dry out often is the best way. And the market in the Southeast, in this region, the numbers are going up and up every day. It went from like 100,000, and now it's like in the low millions for individual farmers. And sensitivity and things to avoid, it's really not a sensitive plant. It helps the soil out. And right now, with it being early, there's no insects that are attacking it. And next year, when I'm harvesting, I would like to offer a tour of my farm, maybe like $40 fee to tour, and I will have demonstrations going on maybe how to harvest your crop and do other things. What is hemp? Hemp deals with cultivars and varieties when marijuana deals with strains. Let me say that one more time. Hemp deals with cultivars and variety, and marijuana deals with strains. That's the main difference. There are many different varieties of the cannabis plant. Hemp, also called industrial hemp, refers to the non-intoxicating varieties of cannabis, sativa L. Both hemp and marijuana come from the same cannabis species, but are further distinguished by use, chemical makeup, and methods. Think of a dog, think of a dog, but you got different types of dog. You got a Chihuahua, then you got a German Shepherd. Both of them are dogs, but they're different types of dogs. So that's how cannabis breaks down. Hemp can be grown as a renewable source for raw materials that can be incorporated into thousands of products. Its seeds and flowers are used in health foods, organic body care, and an array of other things. If you look at the leaves of the The cannabis plants, you have sativa, indica, and ruderalis. The sativa leaves are slender and farther apart, and you have the indica leaves, the one that helps you relax. They're fat and closer together. And the ruderalis, that's the hybrid. That's where most of you get your benefits from, as far as the CBD and the CBN that's getting a lot of news play. They're making, they mixing different plants and getting the best attributes out of each plant and coming up with the medicine. So the ruderalis is more the way of the future. Talk a little about the benefits and the uses of hemp. Hemp offers many different uses that can promote a more sustainable world. Hemp products can be recycled, reused, and are 100% biodegradable. Proponents of hemp say it can help reduce global warming because it takes out large amounts of carbon dioxide per acre, more than most plants. Hemp is carbon negative, which means it absorbs more carbon from the atmosphere during its growth than is emitted by the equipment used to harvest, process, and transport it. Industrial hemp is possibly the most important plant on Earth. Its fatty acid and amino acid profiles are identically aligned with human DNA. As a food source, it offers protein, omegas, and dietary fiber in perfect proportions to our nutritional needs. Personally, I feel that, a reason why I feel that it's the plant of the future is because we have receptors, kind of like what it's saying. We have receptors in our body that we live with every day. And so if we come in contact with hemp or it gets in our system, it latches on to those receptors and creates a positive outcome. We'll talk a little bit about the fiber versus CBD. Hemp farming starts with choosing what kind of industrial hemp to grow. And it's important to note that not all hemp varieties are created equal. Growing hemp for seed and fiber is the easiest form of hemp farming. Growing hemp for CBD requires more labor, but is more lucrative of the hemp varieties. It is more labor intensive because you have to make sure no male plants are in the field. Male hemp and cannabis plants produce pollen, which fertilizes female plants and causes them to produce seeds. For industrial hemp growers producing grain or fiber, this isn't a problem. But for farmers like myself growing for CBD, we need to produce big juicy buds that consist of resin, not seeds. The future of hemp. The passage of the 2018 Farm Bill brought with it exciting news for many in agriculture. Industrial hemp has been declassified as a controlled substance and therefore is now legal to produce, depending on the state you're in. These are some of the reasons why industrial hemp is the crop of the future. Textiles, animal feed, beverages, fuel, building materials, and insulation, plastic alternatives, food for consumption, human consumption, chemical cleanup, soil aeration, medicinal uses, paper, cosmetics, wood stain, and varnish, just to name a few. Thank you very, very much for listening to my hemp presentation. Again, my name is Chad Adams, owner and operator of Earlie Bird Farms. My email is earliebird@gmail.com. And please stay in contact with me. I'm learning. I'm new in the game. But by this time next year, I will be where I'm supposed to be. And like I say, reach out to me, and I will be having farm tours next year. Peace. God bless.